Morning, YouTube family. I'm in my friend's shop this morning working on my engine. I had these special attachments that I bought for my shop vac, so I vacuumed out the inside the block as best I could, the water jacket. I got out some gunk and whatnot, so I feel better about that. This is the first exhaust manifold that I pulled off this engine, and I found that it is cracked in the same spot as the other one. In fact, it's a worse crack, so I'm not going to try and buy another exhaust manifold right now, because I know that's something I can replace later. So I'm just going to reuse the one from my old engine on this one. And I'm going to take this one off right now too. So got a good start. All right, the passenger side exhaust manifold is removed, and I'm thankful that there are no cracks at all evident on this one. Cleaned it up with my wire brush. It all looks good all the way around. So I'm glad I took it off, because this will be a nice new gasket, including the stove for the choke, so that'll be taken care of. I'm just about ready to install my first freeze plug under here on this side. All right, I've got 3 of the freeze plugs installed now. While I was doing that, Charlie, one of the mechanics here, walked up to me and suggested I should be coating the sealing part of the freeze plugs with that compound to make sure it doesn't leak. I've got 4 extra freeze plugs, so I may be popping those back out just to take that advice. We'll see. I'm going to go do the other side first, and then I'll decide. All right, I ended up replacing the 3 freeze plugs on this side a second time. I just tossed the original ones that I put in there since I had extras, and I did use the goop around it to make sure it's sealed, so that part's done. Oil pan is removed, and I've been busy cleaning the edges up here for a good seal with the new oil pan gasket. And back here is the rear main oil seal, rear main bearing. So I'm getting ready to take that apart. Wish me luck. Hope that goes well. But like I said before, I think this is the time to do it. We don't know. Brian didn't know if it leaked or not, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. All right, I have removed the flywheel and that metal plate, giant shim that goes here between the engine and transmission. I noticed a lot of rust and stuff, but it's coming from the top, so it was probably leaking water from the heater valve or something like that. So I'm going to clean that up while I'm back here. But I did this so I could get easier access to the bearing cap back here, because I'm having a hard time even getting that loose. So I'm hoping this gives me enough room to break it loose. All right, I have finally gotten the cap off the rear main bearing. I see a little signs of wear here on the bearing, but that's the least of my concerns right now. You can see the bottom half of the seal, the main seal right there, and also the side seals are right here. So 3 of the 4 are easy, because I got this in my hand. The hard one is, of course, the half that's the upper half that's still on the crank. So I'm going to have to raise this up. I could use an engine stand, but I'm going to take the chance that I can just use this hoist, even though that's probably not the safest way to do it, and push that seal out of there and then get the new one in. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I've had to take a completely different path now. You may notice that the engine block is now mounted on a good heavy-duty engine stand. I'm so thankful I've got my friend allowing me to use the facilities here. So I gave up trying to get the old rope seal out of the rear main there. So now I'm just gonna probably have to lift the whole crank out. Not sure yet. I may give it another go trying to drive it out, but I don't think that's going to work at this point, because it's a rope seal and it's basically disintegrating in there. So all the main bearing caps are loose, but that wasn't enough to help me drive it out. Um, so I'm probably going to end up having to take all this stuff on the front off. Since that dipstick tube was broken, I have to take it off anyway. So well, I'm just going to keep working at it little by little until I get it done. Okay, I guess it's a good thing that I was forced to tear into this engine further than I wanted to, because now that I got everything off on the front of the engine, I discovered that it still has the original nylon camshaft sprocket on here, and it's damaged. There are pieces of nylon missing here, so that obviously needs to be replaced. So that means a new timing chain and gear set, which is fine since I've torn into it now. I noticed too that this engine must have been running hot at some point in its life, because it looks pretty cooked in here with the oil baked on the way it is and everything, but I'm just kind of ignoring that, because what am I going to do about it right now? I'm also looking at this special seal here for where the oil filter housing goes, and this one actually looks like it's still in good shape. The one that I cut out myself, I didn't realize it was just little holes because I cut the whole slot out, so I think I'm just going to reuse this one and hope it doesn't leak. I don't think it will. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. All right, I'm concluding today's activities. Could not get the crankshaft lifted up enough because the heads are on the engine, can't push the pistons out of the way far enough. So I'll have to take another shot at that, see if I can get that tool that'll go in there and force that old rope seal out. Don't know if I can, but I got all my stuff sequestered over here in the back of the shop now, out of the way. Got all the bearings, caps, and whatnot in order. So hopefully I can get all that back together when the time comes. So not the way I thought the day would go, but it is what it is. That's the way it is with these old cars. This engine really needs to be rebuilt, but I am not going to worry about that right now. Don't have the money or the time. So I'll just keep fighting along until I can get it back together. See you next time.